You too. We back at it again. Back with another video. So please comment, like, and subscribe. But with today's video, I'm going to tell y'all how to obtain your CDL. That's right. I'm going to give y'all the steps of how to get in the game. So without further ado, let's get to this video. Yeah, man. So YouTube, I get asked the question a lot. How do I go about getting my CDL and how much does it cost? Well, in this video, we're going to touch bases on the 4 ways of you obtaining your CDL. And that's 1, by going through a private CDL training school. 2, going through a big trucking company that has their own academy. 3, getting on with one of these local companies that has their own academy. And 4, doing everything on your own, knowing somebody that has a truck that wouldn't mind you taking it to DMV so you can take your test. So those are the 4 major ways of you obtaining your CDL. So we're going to get into this video and we're going to let you know. I'm going to break down each step for you. So let's get to it. Yeah, man. So first you have to know if you want to get into trucking, know if trucking is for you, know that you love to drive and that's something you want to do. Yeah, of course, it's great money in trucking, but you still got to like what you do or you're not going to want to stick with it. But once you decide that that's something that you really want to do and you got your mind made up, so now you got to do your research. And people be wondering, what does my driving record has to be like, or how does my background have to be? Well, once you do your research, and I wouldn't just check with 1 or 2 companies, just keep checking. Even if you have felonies, they'll hire you. Not a good driving record, you got companies that'll hire you. The trucking field is in high demand right now, and especially because of this economical crisis that we're in right now, trucking is an essential job. So you're definitely needed right now if that's something you want to do. I know it's hard right now because DMV is shut down, so that's going to be hard for you to get into DMV to take your test. But if it's something that you feel like because your job lays you off and now you're at home or whatever, so you want to figure out, you just figuring out well, maybe I should do something else. So this is the time to now is a better time to come out of this crisis in better shape that you went in. If you're thinking about doing a career change, now is the time to work on that while you have the time at home. But with that being said, we're going to get to the first step of getting your CDL. What I would do is I will already have my learners. You already ahead of the game if you already obtain your learners before you go to any school or call any companies or anything. I will go ahead, go to DMV, get the book and study it to obtain my CDL. I'm also going to drop a link in this video of a website that I have that you can go and take the practice test on, and it's 100% effective because it has the actual questions that's on the test.
And it's 100% effective because it has the actual questions that's on the test.
And it's 100% effective because it has the actual questions that's on the test.
The problem with it, the wording. The questions are worded differently, but you can look at the key points in the questions, and it's the exact actual questions that's on the test. But I'm going to have the link in the description below. But the first way I will go about getting my license is get my learners. So once I have my learners, now you got to figure out, okay, which route do I want to go? And I would do my research and see, do I want to go with the company and work for them for X amount of time, and then they help me get my CDL. But you got to think about it, you have to stay there. So if you don't, you're going to be breaking your contract, and it's going to affect your credit. So that's something to keep in mind. Second, do I want to try to go the route of getting my CDL on my own? I mean, it's great if you know somebody with a truck and a trailer. I know a lot of people don't. Some people do. Some people know people with a truck and a trailer, but I don't know if they'll trust you to take your CDL test in their truck that they paying $200,000, $300,000 for. So that's another question. And then third, do I want to pay all of this money? So if I go and get my CDL through a private school, I'm held liable for the bill. I mean, at the end of the day, you could go and to another company and have them take it over. So it's just things to think about. But once you have your learners, and you figure out which route you want to go. So let's say if you want to go the route of going to a school. So what you need to do, you need to find out what school best fits you. They have weekend classes and weekly classes. Most time, the weekly classes are Monday through Friday. They're probably from like either 7 or 8 in the morning to 3 or 4 in the evening. And it's pretty much an all-day thing, but it is only going to take you a month. So that's the difference. Weekend classes is going to be Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be the same time, but it's going to take you 8 weeks. So it's the difference. Do you want to go for a month or do you want to go for 2 months? So you gotta think about that too. And what I did was I went to the school and I did the weekend classes. It took me 2 months to get it, but I was still working during the time, so I couldn't go during the week. I had to go on the weekends. So that's the route that I took. But you got to choose which route is best for you. And you got to understand, you're going to be putting a deposit down. I think I had to put down $300. It depends on which school you go to. Some schools are different. It is going to run you between $2,500 and $10,000. It depends on where you live, where your location, what state you in. So that's another thing you gotta think about. But like I said, at the end of your class, when you get on with a big company, because most of the time when you go through the school, you can get a local job. There's not very many that would accept you with no experience, but if you do your research, you can find one that will accept you. But you gotta make sure they'll take over your bill too. Or you could just work there and pay on your bill yourself. That's another route you could go. So you just gotta think what best fits you. The other route you can take is not even going to the school, getting your learners and calling a company. Because a lot of these big companies, just to name a few, like Swift and Werner, US Express, Prime, JB Hunt, they kind of iffy, so you might not. Sometimes they don't take new drivers, but it's a lot of other ones that will, that has their own school. That's just a few, just to give you something to look at. That have their own school that will take drivers. Crest is another one. Western Express. There's a lot of them out here that will take you. So, and you just go talk to a recruiter. They set you up. You go to the school. And once you finish their little training class, you're in the truck with a trainer. And you driving. And you got your CDL. And you probably going to have to sign maybe a year, maybe 18-month contract. And if you stay with them that whole time, you got a free CDL. So that's another route you can go. There's a couple of local companies like I would say, I'm gonna give you an example like premium beer distribution or brown distribution. They haul beer. I mean, you got to unload the truck yourself. It's kind of hard work. You humping cases, but they will train you to get your CDL. So that's another route you can go. And I think with them, you only have to sign a contract for a year. So that's another good thing with that. So you just gotta choose if that's the right fit for you. If you don't mind working, that's a great opportunity. You'll be home every night and you'll still have your CDL. And then once your year up, you can choose if I still want to do this or if I want to see other routes I can take as far as driving. You might not want to do that anymore. You might want to drive tankers. You want to do low bed. You might want to do reefer. You might want to do flatbed. I mean, it's a lot of options once you get into it. But one thing I will tell you, if you go the local route, like going with one of these beer companies, you're probably going to have a restriction on your license because most of our trucks are automatic. So you won't be able to drive 10 speed. And that's a plus with going with a big company or going to school. You will have the experience in changing gears. So that's another thing you want to think about when you are making your decision. And the last thing is going to DMV, getting your license on your own. Now, this is the harder route, but if you know somebody that's willing to take the time and let you use that truck to show you how to change gears, show you the different backing maneuvers, parallel parking, offset backing, that's great. I mean, you will be getting your CDL. Only thing you'll be paying for is DMV to take the test. I mean, I didn't have that opportunity, so I didn't have that route. But if you go that route, it's kind of easy because you don't have to deal with going to a class every day or every weekend, giving up your time. And I mean, I think it's a time limit on how long you have to have your learners before they let you take the test to get your CDL. I mean, you'll have to pay for that, but you'll be saving a lot of money versus going to a school. So, I mean, it's all about what works for you, you know. I mean, if you feel that's the best route for you, I say go for it. But I just wanted to touch bases, you know, and let everybody know the different routes you can go because I get asked that question a lot of how to obtain my CDL. I mean, if you have any questions or need to know more information, you can always comment below, subscribe, hit the bell, turn on the notifications so you will be getting my latest video. I mean, I'm going to be dropping videos like this all the time just to help people out, especially the new drivers. But if there's any information you need to know, I don't mind sharing it. I'm here to help y'all. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap this video up. But you know how I end all my videos. For every great goal, there's great sacrifice. But we can achieve all through the Most High. Sky's the limit. Don't sell yourself short. And I'm out. Yeah, man.